Hey friends, welcome back to the Guitar Max channel, and I'm really glad that you're back. You know who else is back in Alice Cooper? Nita Strauss. All right guys, so if you recall, last year there was big news, right? Because Nita Strauss, who had been in Alice Cooper's band for many years, left the band and joined Demi Lovato's band. And she did a bunch of stuff with Demi Lovato, a bunch of TV performances and live shows, touring, that kind of thing. And she, when she left Alice Cooper's band, Kane Roberts from like the Raise Your Fist and Yell and Constrictor albums, like late 80s Alice Cooper albums, he rejoined the band. And it was just like a whole bunch of different headlines all at once. And Kane Roberts, went on tour as the guitarist replacing Nita Strauss, and people really liked it. And it was, a lot going on, right? Well, after all of that, now Nita Strauss is back in Alice Cooper's band and Kane Roberts is out. So I've got several news articles, not just articles, but like official statements from Nita Strauss. I've got all this stuff up here that we're going to go through together. But real quick, guys, if you enjoy videos like this and you have not already subscribed for some reason, please consider subscribing right now. Okay, so let's go ahead and check this out. Like I said, I've got an article from Guitar World, and I also have Nita's Twitter account up here because she's, made several different public statements about this and what's going on and that kind of stuff. And there's some really interesting details that are kind of buried in here that I haven't heard other people talking about, and it's really interesting stuff. So let's go ahead and check this out. So over here on Guitar World, oh, wait a minute. Harley Benton teams up with Guitar Max. I'm sorry, I have the wrong article up here. That's talking about my new signature guitar. Sorry about that. Total accident. Here we go. Over on GuitarWorld.com. Here's the headline we were looking for. Nita Strauss will return to Alice Cooper's lineup for 2023 tour. And there she is right there. After taking temporary leave, interesting, to join Demi Lovato's new all-female band for an extensive tour last year, Nita Strauss will be reuniting with Alice Cooper for a run of North American dates later this year. Now, before we go on, something really interesting here. When this was initially announced, nobody said anything about temporarily leaving, right? This was potentially a permanent change, but now they're saying temporarily, so okay, but let's go on here. The tour, dubbed Too Close for Comfort, will kick off in April, that's just next month, and will be the first time Cooper and Strauss have shared the stage as formal bandmates since the latter left to link up with Lovato in July last year. The move put a brief pause on the pair's musical relationship, which began when Strauss joined the band back in 2014. Can you imagine it was that long ago? Though the door for Strauss's return had always been a possibility when the electric guitar hero said the move wasn't a formal departure and that she may have a chance to come back. She's back, Cooper said of Strauss's return. Nita asked for a leave of absence to work with someone else, something I always encourage my band members to do. I'd like them to challenge themselves and try new things. I'm thankful to my old friend Kane Roberts for stepping up and filling in for her, but she'll be back with us for the new tour that starts up in late April. It's going to be great to have her back. And there's another picture there. And let's see here. Now they've got the tour dates and so forth. A lot of stuff in May. Starts in April, late April, a bunch of stuff in May, and even some the stadium tour with Motley Crue and Def Leppard in the summertime, in August. Okay, then the article goes on here. From the studio to the stage, it's always an immense honor to make music with Alice Cooper, added Strauss. I'm very excited to be rejoining the band on the road for the 2023 dates, and so I'll see you on the road in April. Let the nightmare return. The tour is set to kick off in April at the Soaring Eagle Casino and Resort, with Cooper's band set to play a run of headline shows that will conclude on May 18th at the Beau Rivage Theatre. A slot at Welcome to Rockville on May 20th will cap off the run. In August, Strauss, Cooper, and company will then join up with Def Leppard and Motley Crue for 6 shows, before heading out on a co-headline tour with Rob Zombie throughout the remainder of August and most of September. That's a pretty intense tour, okay? The article goes on here. When Strauss made the move to Lovato's band, she told Guitar World that the career change had partly been motivated by desire to inspire a new generation of fans to play music and to introduce guitar to individuals who otherwise might not have been interested in the instrument. I remember talking about this when this initially came out, and I agreed with her thought process. And I think she achieved that. I think, she got in front of a bunch of people who had never seen her before, and maybe even people who had never experienced that kind of guitar pyrotechnics before. So I believe she achieved her goal. It quotes her then as saying, "If we can reach this next generation of passionate and intense fans and inspire them to play music, isn't that a wonderful thing? They might pick up a guitar or bass, try out drums or keys and think, I could do that. Some of these younger fans might not have been reached through a traditional rock show." Valid. That is a totally valid point here. Though she left Cooper for his 2022 tour and was replaced by the vocalist's former Axeman, Kane Roberts, Strauss rejoined the band for a one-off performance wielding a Jackson Jeff Loomis signature Kelly. Interesting, I missed that. Strauss' return to the fold almost seemed like an inevitability after the guitarist reassured fans that original reports of her departure had turned it into a much bigger decision than it really was. Okay, so that's all very interesting, and like I said, that was the article over on guitarworld.com. I'm going to have a link down in the video description below, but we are not done yet. There's some very interesting details, additional details, over on Nita's Twitter page. So here we are over on everyone's most hated social media platform, Twitter. And look at this. Let's scroll down a little ways here. And here we go. Big year ahead. Nita Strauss rejoins Alice Cooper, right? So she's posting the headlines here. But if we go down here we have some pictures of Nita, Alice Cooper, and Demi Lovato all together. Okay, and this is and there's multiple pictures here, right? This is kind of interesting. Because right here with this post, which was on March 6th, just a few days ago, Nita is talking about well, you're not playing with Demi Lovato right now. You're going back to Alice Cooper. So what's Demi Lovato doing? And she says, Demi has been keeping very busy. In fact, I saw some studio pictures with Alice himself. How cool is that? And when the time comes, I will be beyond excited to join her and the band on stage again. Big year ahead. Love you guys. Dates at alicecooper.com. So there's two really interesting things there. One is that she's saying, she's potentially going to do this shift again, right? Depending on how the tour schedules work out, I imagine she might leave Alice Cooper's band again to go back with working with Demi Lovato at some time in the future. So that is very interesting. And number two is she suggesting that Demi Lovato and Alice Cooper are doing some kind of collaboration? That's kind of what I get out of this post here, right? Studio pictures of the two of them together, Demi Lovato and Alice Cooper. I mean, what else could it mean, right? So I find that very interesting, and I'm very curious if we're going to see some headlines in the future about Alice Cooper making an appearance on a Demi Lovato album or vice versa, right? It could go either way. And as one sort of bonus detail, just a little bit further down on her Twitter here, she says, hey, next single from the upcoming record, and she's talking about a solo record, is dropping this month, along with another very special guest appearance. So, in addition to continuing in some point in the future to work with Demi Lovato, she's also going back to Alice Cooper's band, and she's continuing to release solo tunes. So Nita, as always, is a very busy girl. Okay, guys, that's the gist of it. So let me know what you think of all this stuff down in the video description below. And guys, as always, I'm going to have links for the article I was talking about. I will put a link for Nita's Twitter page on there if you want to check that out. And yeah, very interesting news. There's a lot going on for sure. So, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give me a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already, and I will talk to you very soon.